guys want to talk about?
Let me talk to you.
Yeah!
Throwdown Nation, what is going on? We are live on a Monday evening. It is June 22nd, 2026. We are rolling on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter/X, Facebook, and Twitch. It is episode 241 of the Throwdown, the community on the interwebs where we celebrate the art and sport of professional wrestling with a strong focus on the indies. I'm your host, Matt, and today we are going to have some fun. We are doing something a little bit different and throwing down with a lady who is something of a legend in the Southern California indie wrestling scene, a superfan. I've heard it said that if there is a wrestling event in Southern California, you can pretty much count on seeing her there. Welcome with me, the one and only Wendy Mendez. How you doing?
Good. How about you? And thank you for that awesome introduction. Like, I never considered myself as a legend, but thank you for that.
Well, you may not consider yourself that, but there's a lot of people that feel that way about you. So, just
I do appreciate that.
You can definitely know that. And for those of you that are watching live, let me direct your attention to the ticker that's running on the bottom of the screen. That contains all or at least most of Wendy's social media accounts along with mine. So if you aren't following or subscribed, take the time and go to each of our platforms and do so. It definitely helps both of us. And any questions or comments, just throw them in the chat and we'll either handle them as we go or do a little Q&A at the end. So we'll go ahead and start with really kind of the first and most obvious question, and that is, how long have you been a wrestling fan?
Whew. I've been a wrestling fan ever since I was 10 years old. So with my age now, 20 years now, I've been a wrestling fan.
Nice, nice. What is your earliest wrestling-related memory?
My earliest wrestling memory is basically watching, I believe it was Thursday night or Friday night SmackDown, where my brother was watching wrestling because he's also a wrestling fan, but mostly like the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression era. That he turned on the TV and I saw it, and my eyes instantly wide up, and I'm just like, holy crap, what is this? And I just see like guys and gals like going at it and hearing the energy of the crowds and energy of the wrestlers, even the voice of the commentators, and I was just like starstruck, mind blown. It's like a new world totally opened to me, and I never looked back since.
Awesome. What was the first live show you ever went to as a fan?
I don't know if this is going to surprise anybody or not, but I might as well just say it. The first ever live show I've ever went to, like, within big stream names, is AEW when they first started. When they had their first ever Double or Nothing pay-per-view, I was there. When they had their first ever all-out pay-per-view in Chicago, I was there. I was there
that's cool.
First two special events, because the first time was great, and I'm just like, no, I got to do this again. So I made that decision to go to Chicago, and I haven't looked back since. Once again, I haven't looked back since, because AEW, in a sense, brought my love back to wrestling, because AEW, and in my opinion, it still is a revolution of wrestling.
Oh, it is. It is. AEW has been the best thing to happen to professional wrestling in the last 10 years. I mean, because it brought viable competition to WWE, and if you've got strong competition, you're going to end up with a better product on both ends. So it's definitely a plus having a company that can pose a threat.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I saw it as competition, and sure, like it's like this and that, and media this and media that, and I'm the person that doesn't really follow media that much, or try not to get into like political things because it kind of ruins it. But just seeing the wrestling and the wrestlers and the treatment due and from AEW to some superstars, for some of the wrestlers, hey, that that was their greener on the other side because they're better at AEW than they were in WWE, or vice versa. And
Right.
it made me happy because it gave them an opportunity that was never given to them, or should have gotten the opportunity to. So that really was like a spark, in my opinion, a spark.
Absolutely. And, it's kind of funny. For a number of years in the early 2000s, I had gotten busy with other things, and I had gotten out of wrestling mostly. I was still kind of keeping an eye on things through the dirt sheets on the internet and stuff, but I wasn't
Yeah.
really watching anything. And mostly because my son was very young at the time, and there was just a lot going on. And so
Yeah.
right around 2016 or so, I started hearing about this guy over in Japan named Kenny Omega, and people were saying, what an amazing wrestler he was, and
Hmm.
our cable system had Access TV, so I knew that New Japan was something I could actually watch. So I tuned in, saw a couple of Kenny's matches on Access TV, and Kenny Omega pulled me back into wrestling. And at that point, I started watching everything again, and it's just kind of and really, with the rise of the indies, right now is such a cool time to be a fan because there is just so much content out there. It's hard to find hours in the week to consume it all.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong there. It's so much information to take in, and you're right. Like Kenny Omega, like I'm a huge fan of Kenny Omega. Yeah, Kenny Omega. Sorry. See, I'm already starstruck when we talk about him because everything he says and does, it's not only philosophical but also like very knowledgeable because he gives us like, hey, there's life outside of WWE. Because in my opinion, in my perspective right now, that in the past everyone thought it was just WWE. It was either WWE or nothing. You're considered an outsider. And
Right.
in a sense, it was a stigma that if you're an outsider, no one's gonna know you, or no one's gonna care about you. And in a sense, I understand. But then because of Kenny, not only I watched New Japan, but let's say AJ Styles, for example, because of him, I watched TNA. And
Mm-hmm.
so I started discovering other promotions that are outside of that too as well, because like Sting is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I'm already putting it out there. Sting
Yeah.
is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and because of Sting, I watched WCW matches is on YouTube and videos and
Yep.
cassettes that my brothers had, and I just fell in love with wrestling. And if you ask me a wrestler that has brought me wrestling as a whole, it's because of Sting. But if you ask me for who brought wrestling outside of WWE, AJ Styles and Kenny Omega.
Absolutely. Our old friend UK Paul over on Twitch made the comment that Omega and Zack Sabre Jr. this Sunday is going to be pure fire.
Oh,
Man, I cannot wait. That match is going to be
same.
sick. It is going to be sick. I mean, I am a huge fan of submission based wrestling, so I love me some Zack Sabre Jr. I mean, but
Yes.
absolutely love submissions. So I'm excited to see Kenny's and Zach's styles play off of each other. It's just going to be fun.
I'm so glad you said that because yes, I am excited for that match. And as we talked about earlier, because of Zack Sabre Jr., I learned Progress Wrestling and Rev Pro, and I know in Ireland they have OTT, Over the Top Wrestling. Those
Yeah.
are my top promotions in like the UK and Ireland because I discovered them because of Zack Sabre Jr., as we talked about it. And I had the honor of meeting Zack Sabre Jr. in LA and recently in Vegas when I was in the collective weekend. I saw Zack
Oh,
Sabre Jr.
nice.
and he's nothing but a nice guy. And when it comes to a
That's
fight
what
and
I've heard.
submissions, like you said, when it comes to a
Yeah.
fight and submission, dude, I heard it firsthand. His chops, damn, insane. It's loud in camera, but it's louder in person.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. So, did you ever have aspirations to actually wrestle?
Everyone keeps telling me that, and part of me is like, oh, I would love to do it, but I don't know if I can. Maybe it's just a self doubt in my head. I mean, part of me wants to try, but then part of me is like, oh, I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. When I was of the age that I could have considered trying to go into the business, it was still very much the land of the giants. And
Yeah.
I'm a comparatively small guy. I'm around 5'6". So I mean, you know, but now, you know, the business has evolved, and you know, it does my heart good to see the smaller, really athletic guys
Yes.
going out there and just tearing it up. You know, like I
Mhm.
mean, I love the Rey Mysterios, the Adam Coles, the Bryan Danielsons. You know, the smaller, really athletic guys that are having good success in the business. Man, it just does my heart so much good because I was a small guy.
Yeah.
So. So, outside of wrestling, what person inspires you the most and why? Away from wrestling.
Oh, wrestling has always been my whole world, but I have taken to other hobbies. I recently gone back to like a few art stuff because I've done it at one point, but then I stopped due to personal reasons. And yeah, just basically like your average exploring like art. Uh, oh man, this is kind of hard. I didn't really think that through, but I guess you could say I'm more of like the art type kind of thing. Even photography, I started like taking into photography recently because I did take it in high school and I put it into now in wrestling, but I also put it outside of wrestling too. So I guess can consider those things outside of wrestling.
Gotcha, gotcha. So, you know, we're mostly a wrestling related show, obviously, but we do dabble a little bit into pop culture, and
Oh yeah.
I'm always looking for recommendations. So, by any chance, are you watching or listening to anything really cool right now?
Uh, yes and no. Sometimes I look back to like the old stuff because recently I've been watching old Pokemon series because I'm a huge Pokemon fan, as well as
Mm-hmm.
Yu-Gi-Oh, as well as Dragon Ball Z, and anything anime I will watch as long as it's good. even movies too, because like you've seen new movies coming up, especially in the Marvel universe, like the Doomsday Avenger coming in, I think later this year or next year. That is something I am looking forward to because I am a huge like Marvel and DC fan as well. So I'm
Gotcha.
looking forward to that.
Goth over on over on Twitch wants to see you and Nina as a tag team.
Funny that God said that because me and Nina have talked about it too. Shout out to Nina. I told her that hell, if I was a wrestler, I would love to be her tag team partner, and we could, like, I believe if I was a wrestler, me and her can make something work. We would just be like the two first. You never know, first MPW, first primal, female tag team.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
I'm all up
So,
for it. When it comes to anything history within the women, sorry if I interrupted, I'm
oh
all up
no.
for it.
So what is your favorite thing about Southern California?
I think it's just like the same as anything else, like the love of the sport and the community. Because it's amazing that you see the difference between East Coast fans and West Coast fans. And I'm not saying this because I am born and raised California native, but I have seen the difference. And to me, I'm more relatable to West Coast because it's more welcoming, more love, more caring, more communicative. So I think that's what makes, like, selfishly speaking, us West Coast better. And if I
Gotcha.
offend any East Coast fans, I am sorry, but I still love you guys.
Gotcha. So, what does your family and friend circle think of all of this?
My parents think I'm wasting my time going to shows and doing this, but then I just try not to let it get to my head, and I don't think it's a waste of my time because in the end, I know it's all worth it because at the end of the day, I know I will feel better. I'm with a community that really genuinely cares about me,
Mm-hmm.
and my once again, my brother is super supportive. My second oldest, he's so supportive. He's like, hey, even though I think you're wasting time and money, I still support you because you're having fun. And him saying that meant a lot to me because it shows that he really cares about my happiness. And my cousin too, he's super supportive of my wrestling journey. And my niece, even my niece, is like, Auntie, do what you love. And she's 15. And her saying that, I'm just like, when the hell did you become smart and giving me the encouragement? As I jokingly say that to her, but her saying that and those two saying that, like, it, to me, it validates me.
Gotcha. So, you've been a fan long enough that I'm sure you've developed at least a few of these. So, what is your biggest wrestling related pet peeve? What bugs you about wrestling?
Uh, I could name a few, but I think the number one pet peeve for me is when someone says a comment like they try to be funny, but they're not funny. It's just rude. I hate that. It drives me nuts because they think it's funny, but it's not. That is my
Right.
biggest pet peeve because you think it's funny, but no, you're just being a jerk. You're being disrespectful.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, it sounds like over the years you've had the privilege of meeting a number of wrestlers. Who would you say has been your best? What has been your best encounter with a wrestler?
Oh my gosh, there's so many, but I think the number one thing for me is meeting Sting. That was my that was my number one bucket list of all time is meeting the icon Sting. So funny story, and I'm glad you brought that up because I first saw him at the Q&A. There's a Q&A about Sting and his wrestling matches and his life. And I was one of the lucky few that was able to ask him a question. And
Oh,
he
that's cool.
answered my question. Yeah, and he answered my question. And I was so starstruck that I was like, okay, I I, I can deal with this. Like, he answered my question. I can live with that. And then I got a chance to meet him. And I'm not gonna lie, I was so starstruck and my chest was pounding. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm meeting the icon, like the legendary icon. And he was so nice and so cool. And what made it more validation is he signed a poster that an artist made, and the artist that made that poster made all the faces of Sting throughout the years. All the faces of Sting.
Gotcha. So Goth wants to know if you're still mad at him voting Skrilla over J2.
Yes. He knows what he's doing, and that's why I'm like, oh gosh, you just love to play games. That's all I gotta say.
Yep. So, what do you have an all-time favorite match as a fan? Is there a match that, or matches that are just near and dear to your heart that you find yourself kind of circling back to?
Oh my gosh, like I said earlier, there's so many throughout the years. It's hard to keep count. But if you're talking about, like, I know one when I went to AEW's pay-per-view Full Gear, my favorite match is when Darby Allin, Edge, and Sting teamed up against Christian and his coalition, Nick Wayne, and I forgot the person. Sorry to the third person.
I'm trying to think of the name of the guy. I know who you're talking about. British guy. I think Kip Sabian.
Yes, Kip Sabian. I am so sorry, Kip, if you're watching this. It's been a while, but Kip Sabian is good because he's another one of those superstars that I have watched, like in Progress, in Rev Pro, in OTT. Like Kip Sabian's just amazing. He's phenomenal, and to see him.
He is hugely underrated. I mean, he
Oh
is
yeah,
so good,
for sure.
so good at what he does.
He was one of the few that I met when AEW started. When AEW was doing their first ever meet and greets, I had a chance to meet him, and he is just nothing but a down to earth guy, and like everything about him is just so cool.
So, kind of piggybacking off of that question, do you have an all-time favorite promo as a fan?
The Eddie Guerrero, when Eddie Guerrero did his promo with Brock Lesnar, that one is my number one of all time. Nothing can beat that.
The I'm an addict.
Yeah, I'm an addict. And what I love about it, and I think they said this in an interview too, but if not, then I'll say it, that it was real. To me, like it was real. It was not some kind of like you put up a card and say it or you read it off just to act upon it. No, it was a legit real thing. Everything in his feelings was like true. It was genuine. And that to me was the moment when other wrestlers are like, hey, if he can do that, I can do that too. Because look at Eddie Kingston, another example. Every promo that Eddie Kingston does, it's real. That's why Eddie Kingston is the king of promos. Everything he says is so true because he's done it all. He's been through it all. He knows it all. And he speaks from his heart, like no BS. He speaks the truth.
Absolutely. So, at this, this is one of these questions that the answer can literally change almost moment to moment, hour to hour, day to day. But at this very moment, in your opinion, who are the best male and best female wrestlers in the world? Who's the best man and who's the best woman?
I may be biased, but I only say this because I've seen his progress, and he's also the most genuine human being I've ever met of all time. Speedball McBailey. To me, he will always be one of the best of the best. And if I have to pick based on brands too, in TNA right now, Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, I won't argue.
Mustafa Ali is also the best. And in AEW, Darby Allin.
Yeah. Speedball, interestingly enough, he's had this sort of a mentorship interaction going on with Kevin Knight, and the interesting thing is, many, many, many years after I was there, Kevin Knight went to my high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He, I graduated from high school back in 1988. So, Kevin Knight was there a long, long, long time after I was. But it's just kind of cool that, Kevin Knight and I both went to Brookwood High School. So
that's amazing. It just goes to show of like time.
It's a small world sometimes.
Yes, it really is.
So, in your, this is another completely opinion question, but in your opinion, right now, what is the best storyline that's going on in professional wrestling?
Ooh. I mean, right now, if you're talking about right now, is when Darby Allin was champion, because he was always considered the usual, the underdog, the outsider, the guy that could never do it, or he's too insane, or he's not in that status quo. But when he became champion, he proved everyone wrong. Everyone wrong. And I knew it right from the get-go because I had the lucky opportunity to meet Darby Allin when he was in LA. So meeting him, he's just nothing but a genuine guy in general. And if you're talking about TNA right now, I like the Mustafa. I don't know if this is a storyline or not, but personally speaking, I like what Mustafa Ali's doing right now. Like, literally, like the name Intercontinental Champion, international. And he's bringing that to a literal meaning by stating it doesn't matter if you're in TNA or in indie, bring each country, bring in your best wrestler, bring in your best challenger, and I will make my way down there to wrestle. And he's doing it. And so far, he's done what he says he's gonna do. He's already wrestled a few people. Most recently, Starboy Charlie, who I also met in LA and all over SoCal. Another one of the great talents, and to see them wrestle just brought joy to my heart because those two are phenomenal wrestlers. And Mustafa Ali continuing to bring that intercontinental, international legacy into play, I'm just like, yes, that's the way it should be. In my opinion, that's the way it should.
Gotcha. So, in the major companies right now, meaning, WWE, AEW, TNA, etc., who do you think has the best walkout?
Oh man. I could think of one. But then he came back, so but during that time it was like a real thing. At least in my view, it was a real thing. Like when CM Punk walked out, like he was
No,
speaking for all.
no. I'm talking about somebody walking to the ring. I'm talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry
yeah.
about that. Because you said
Oh no,
walkout. I thought you meant like exit out of
no,
wrestling.
no, 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 no. I was talking the walkout to the ring.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, but
Oh, no
but the
problem.
walkout thing, yeah, that one. But the walk into the ring. Oh, okay. I'm gonna like distinguish each.
Okay.
WCW, obviously, to me, Sting. Sting had the
Yeah.
best walk-in, and I'm not just saying that just because I'm a fan. It might sound biased, but if you see Sting like walk into the ring, like with the baseball bat and the crow face paint, that's when it's like,
Oh yeah.
oh geez, like you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yep.
Uh, TNA at the time, AJ Styles, because AJ Styles, he had this presence. Because in my opinion, from my view, I could tell like every time he walks into the ring, he's 100%. Like it's legitimately like every walk in and every match, it's like, okay, game on.
Yep.
And in WWE, oh, that one's a toughie because there are so many. But for WWE, to me, Lita and Trish, they have the best walk-ins because those two revolutionized the women's division for the women for the future, in my opinion. And in AEW, oh, still Kenny Omega, like New Japan and AEW, Kenny Omega, because once again he has that presence of like every match you're gonna give it your all, and when he comes in, it's like game time. It's go time.
Gotcha.
So
So
that's all my list.
who has the best walk to the ring in Southern California?
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, and you did it. Damn it. You did it. Damn it. It's
I
so
did
hard because everyone is so special. Everyone has their own unique entrances. But
I won't make you answer it if you'd really rather not. You don't have to answer it.
it's not that I don't want to. It's just it's hard too because I don't want to offend anyone because I have so much love for every There's so much love for everyone. Like not just in California, but also in like the West Coast scene in Washington and Las Vegas. Then it's just so hard to name a few. But I guess if I have to name a few, oh man, no, it's so hard. I don't want to offend anyone because I have so much love for everyone. Because everyone is unique in their own way, and everyone's so different. It's so hard. Can't believe you
I
did
won't
that
make
to
you
me.
answer it. Looking over at the Instagram chat, Chris Page just showed up and he says hello and talks about giving you your first in-ring moment at Good Vibrations.
Yes, it was an unbelievable and to me surprising moment because on the day, or he probably texted me before this, but I'm just like thought process. Um, when he told me I was gonna be in the ring, I'm like, wait, what? Like promo wise? Like, wait, what? I was so starstruck, and being in the back too, I was so starstruck because I have so much love for MPW because I recently celebrated my anniversary with MPW at Summerfest because Summerfest was the very first show I've ever went to for MPW. So to be in that ring where all the guys and gals and future superstars and current superstars and past superstars were in, it was so unbelievable. And I felt so blessed and so honored, mostly honored that I was like, okay, I was in the ring just soaking it all in. Like I can understand where all the wrestlers and commentators and production crew are coming from and their excitement, like the adrenaline and motivation drives you. And I'm just like, wow, this motivates me to like be a proud or at least try to be the best wrestling fan I can be.
Yep. Chris just commented, making moments is what we do. And I couldn't agree more. That is what professional wrestling is all about. Making those moments. So, in the Southern California indie scene, right now, who do you feel like is on the verge of making it big? Put over some people.
Oh my gosh, I have so much love for everyone. If I miss someone, I am terribly sorry, but I still put in recommendations in my stories as well because I do my best to promote everyone as much as I can. But the most rising stars that I believe that can make it to the top, one of the few is Chris Nasty, CJ Tino, Jake Redondo, Draven Silvera, the Brothers Divine, Daniel Moon, and even the Unguided, Matt Vandergriff and Damian Drake. I love them both. They're from Vegas, but they are so crazy talented. I love those guys so much. And I love everyone else as well, like Jake Mays, Yasin Khan, Pumpline, Antonio Rivers, Boa Silva, Adrian Knight, and recently the two female graduates, Ari Jade, Billy Dupree. I have a good feeling about those two. And same in MPW, as I mentioned earlier, Draven Silvera, DRE, and Nina, Diego Valens, Miggy Rose, and once again the brothers Divine, Daniel Moon. I know I'm repeating some of them, but I just have so much love for everyone. And the Krusty Crew. I cannot forget the Krusty Crew. I love those guys so much.
I'm comparatively new to watching the Southern California scene, but one of the shows I watched recently, and I was talking to Danny Devine about this, a guy that I saw him wrestle recently who actually impressed me, and especially when I found out how new to the business he is, but this guy, Mighty Zeus. Um,
Oh
he
yeah.
actually, I mean, he moves like a much smaller man than he is. I mean, he's one of these really agile big men, and I've always really enjoyed watching that type of wrestler. I was a big fan of Big Van Vader back in the day, and he was almost the prototype for the agile big man. So
Yeah. Honestly, that's a good comparison because, yeah, Zeus and Isaiah Hendricks, they had their first match, and um, this is one of those moments where like different styles match up. Like, yes, they have
mm-hmm.
different styles, but they make it work. And I
Yep.
always say in wrestling, there's always a wrestler that, in a sense, is your twin flame, like your partner. Like, because every time you see the two wrestle, it merges together. And to me, Isaiah Hendricks and Mighty Zeus are one of those guys where every time they wrestle or even team up, they work.
Right, right. So, um, what, as a fan, what is your favorite move to watch? Is there a particular move that you just love to see executed well?
Before I answer that, I don't want to forget J2. Like, shout out to J2. He is also another one of Rising Stars.
Oh, for
There, I
sure.
said
I
it.
mean,
I
that
can't
that that
forget him.
goes
I
that
don't want
goes
to forget him.
without saying. That goes without saying. I mean,
I
he's
would be
awesome.
so sad if I forgot, which I did not. But there's so many moves, but I am a huge fan of double stops. I love double stomps because that move is so technical and so universal, and it shows that if you can pull off that move, you have very good accuracy, which is to me
Yeah.
kind of rare. Like, you have good timing, you have good accuracy in your abilities, and I every time I see that, I'm just like, my heart just it makes me so happy saying that, which I want to give a shout out to Kevin Blackwood because he does a lot of double stomps, and I love seeing his double stomps every time because Kevin Blackwood was a great wrestler. And the reason I say was is because he recently like retired from wrestling. I wish I could have been there to see his last match, but I had the honor to meet him, call him my friend, and watch his matches. So shout out to Kevin Blackwood because Kevin Blackwood is the reason why I fell in love with like double stomps.
Absolutely. So, I mean, obviously, you're not a wrestler. I'm not a wrestler. But if you could snap your fingers and be able to do a move perfectly yourself, what would be your dream move to be able to do?
The first thing I've thought of was the Scorpion Deathlock because I've always loved that move from Sting. And once again, Sting is a huge Sting fan. And seeing that move, and I know how to like kind of do it in my head. Like, I see it. And I actually did it to one of my buddies once because he's like, try it. And I'm like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, just try it and see if you can do it. And I did do it. Like, I did the whole, and I did the whole sting thing. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I did what my hero did. So I guess that would be one of the moves for sure that I would do as homage to Sting.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I love seeing a well executed Spanish fly. If that would be a move. If I could snap my fingers and just once do a Spanish fly with somebody, that would just be amazing. But
Yeah,
but
that would be great.
but I'm 56 years old, so the odds of my ever doing a Spanish fly are pretty much slim and none. So, knowing everything you know at this point in your life, if you could give any advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Just go out there and be brave and have an adventure. That's what I would tell like my younger self, because the younger self was shy, was reserved, and kind of like the yes person. But then throughout time and meeting the right people, and shout out to my best friend Holly, like she gave me like confidence and encouragement to do this. And because of her, I gained a little bit more confidence in myself. I became more braver in my journeys, and because of the bravery that she has given me and I have given to myself, I've traveled so much and met so many amazing people and gone to so many shows that it's just been a blast. And I have not looked back then. So I would tell my younger self to be braver, be braver, and do what you love. If it's something that you love to do it.
Awesome. Well, before we went on the air, you were talking a little bit about your best friend, and you were saying you kind of wanted to take a few minutes during the show and put her over. So the floor is yours. Talk about your bestie.
Aw. My best friend is Holly. Shout out to her, and I hope she does watch this. But if she doesn't, I will show her this, that she has been my best friend since day one, and I'm glad she was one of those best friends and people that is open-minded and respects what I do and love. Because when you tell someone you love wrestling, they kind of give you a look or kind of speculate, oh, you like that? Like, okay, they give you that little question.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Sorry if you see someone in the background. Yeah, shout out to her. She's been nothing but amazing, and she respected me. She didn't judge me. She loved it, and I took her to a wrestling show, and she was like, okay, now I see what you see. And I was like, yes.
Very cool. Very cool. So, do you have any pre-show traditions? Are there any places that you like to stop on the way to shows? Are there any things that you like to do before you go to a wrestling show?
There are several things, but the number one thing is to just like clear my head and tell myself, okay, this is gonna be a good show day. And I always say it's gonna be a good show day. Like, no matter what happens, everything's gonna be all right. I'm gonna meet with everyone, and I hope it all goes well and smoothly. And of course, like the safety of everyone. That's always been my number one concern.
Oh, for sure.
As well, that everything is safe, everything is good, and nothing too troubling happens. And if it does, it's just a small problem. But at the end of the day, we're gonna have a good show. So that's my tradition. Kind of like hype myself with a small positivity, so that way drag positivity.
Gotcha. So, out in the Southern California scene, do you have a favorite venue? Is there a particular place that you love to watch wrestling? Maybe just because of the vibe or the environment there. Is there Is there a particular place that's just your favorite to watch wrestling?
There's two spots like outside of California. If you're talking about like out of state too, I
Okay.
would say there's two particular places in Vegas that I love. I love the FSW area and the Pride Style area because every time I go there, it's nothing but nothing but good vibes. And shout out to those two promotions because um, they're nothing but amazing. Like I said, every time I go there, it's nothing but good vibes, good people, good show days, and the whole environment is just great. And same in California, like we all take care of each other. And even though I'm just an outsider, they still welcome me. And I'm just like, okay, like I feel a little more comfortable that I've been accepted.
Gotcha. Yeah, a few months ago, I read Killer Cross's autobiography, and he had spent some time at FSW in Vegas, and really had a lot of good stuff to say about that particular company. So I've definitely heard good things. It sounds like FSW is something pretty special.
Oh yeah, in my opinion, it's a special place because when I started in wrestling, it was like the first show I went to for Vegas, and I'm just like holy crap, and that's how I discovered Matt Vandergriff and Damian Drake because of that promotion at the FSW. Because yeah, the Unguided came to California, but I didn't know which promotion they were in Vegas until someone from Vegas actually visited to California told me, oh, they're from FSW. And I'm like, oh, what's FSW? And they showed me the website, they showed me like the social media, and I'm like, oh, so that's FSW. I'm gonna give it a go. And I did, and I haven't looked back. Like FSW is like a great promotion because you see stars like Chris Bay or former superstar Zoe Starks, Killer Cross, and future superstars like Jai Vidal, and so many others that if I forgot the names, I'm sorry, but my top two will always be the Unguided, Matt Vandergriff and Damon Drake.
Gotcha. So a few minutes ago, over on Twitch, Goth was asking who your favorite MPW heel is.
Damn it, Goth. Damn it, Goth. It's so hard. But I guess if you can annoy me that much, then that means you've done a pretty good job, even though I don't want to admit it. But I guess it's one of those moments where you have to admit it. I'll admit, Dustin Daniels is a good heel. He's a good heel. Gets in my face and with his spray bottle. Ugh. But he annoyed me that much, so I'm just like, oh, you son of a. It's one of those things. And other heels, Jake Mays, Eddie Rohr, right now Busio and Roberto Perez, like those three guys annoy me, and I'm just like, ugh, get away from me.
Absolutely. So we're pretty much getting toward the end of things now. So do you have are there any shows coming up that you're going to be at that if somebody wants to come up and say hello, where are you going to be?
This Friday, I will be at MPW because it will be a very, very special MPW, at least for me, a very special MPW episode because you have the return of the millennials, Danny Devine, Brandon Devine, and Daniel Moon teaming up after so many years. they will reunite against the three bozos, I like to call them, the three bozos, the three stooges, Busio, Dustin Daniels, and Roberto Perez. They can call themselves whatever they want, but I call them the bozos. Or the three clowns, three stooges. I mean, I could keep going, but those are my top ones. So I will be at MPW this Friday, and this Saturday I will be at GCW because I haven't been to the last GCW show, but I will finally make my GCW return this Saturday. And Sunday, I'm still deciding where I'm going to go. So I will make the announcement soon, but for now, it's still to be determined for Sunday. But for Friday and Saturday, I've already got done deals on MPW and GCW.
Nice, nice. Well, as far as what we've got coming up on the Throwdown, tomorrow, June 23rd, which is a Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, we've got episode 242, and our guest is pro wrestler Matthew DeLuna, sometimes better known as MDL. And then next Monday, the 29th, at 7 p.m. Eastern, which will be 4 p.m. Pacific, we've got episode 243, and our guest is another California-based wrestler, Luchador Koto Hiro. Definitely excited to have him on the show, pick his brain a little bit, and hear some stories. And as far as longer term, I'm actually booked through the first week of August. I've managed to get to kind of a rolling 6 weeks out on the bookings, and there's definitely some exciting stuff coming. So be sure to keep an eye on my socials, and it's. The show just keeps rolling right along. We're approaching 250 episodes, and I never would have dreamed it would have gone on this long with no sign of stopping. So it's completely been an absolute labor of love, and it's. Doing this show has been a blast. I've had the opportunity to meet some of the coolest people, and it has been an absolute pleasure having you on the show, Wendy.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. But no, thank you for having me. It's been a great opportunity, and I really love our conversations, and I can't wait for what we have in store and what wrestling has in store for us as well. So I'm just excited and ready for the journey.
Absolutely. So until tomorrow night at 7 p.m. with Matthew DeLuna, be good to each other, love